Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maureen O'Connor from Quilters Heaven in Northbrook, Illinois, and I am the Opinionated Quilter. Today's episode number 94 is Gamml's service system is broken. I take no joy in making this video. I love my Gaml. When I bought it 16 years ago, I believed I bought the best machine on the market. I still believe so. It's not the machine that's the problem, it's the delivery of service. The purpose of this video is twofold. It's to prevent people from being in the position that I was in. In addition, I'm also hoping to rally Gaml owners to unite and let Gaml know we want our dealerships back. On that note, if you know someone who's thinking about purchasing a long arm, please forward this video to them. If you know any current Gaml owners, please forward the video to them as well. Let's start at the beginning. If you're going to buy a machine, whether it is a sewing machine, embroidery serger, or the long arms that we're talking about now, the first thing you want to do is have a good dealer. Sometimes you'll walk into the dealer that you know. Sometimes your friends will have directed you to them. You may be at a quilt show and there's the dealers there or manufacturers there selling their machines. If you're at a quilt show, always ask, who is your local dealer? Why do you want a local dealer? There's many reasons. When it's a dealership model, there's the manufacturer who makes the machine, constantly upgrades it, new enhancements, new features, and then the dealers deal with the customer. They provide education. Now, sometimes the manufacturer also provides additional education, usually more in-depth education, but your initial education, how to operate the machine, will always come from your dealer. Service. This is the issue we're talking about today. The service that you get at your dealer can be your routine maintenance. It can be additional parts for your machine, additional new accessories, new feet, and also they can take care of the major repairs. And they can also troubleshoot. I get phone calls from customers all the time. And someone will say, my machine won't do a zigzag. And I say, did you tell your machine you have the zigzag plate on, or do you have the single hole plate on? Oh, it says I have the single hole plate on. Well, the machine won't let you do a zigzag because you haven't told it that you have a zigzag plate on and it doesn't let you break a needle. So that problem, gone. Just a quick phone call. Your dealer can troubleshoot simple problems and sometimes walk you through even semi-difficult problems. The dealership model works. When I had a dealer, if I had a major problem, I loaded my machine head up in my car with the track it runs on, and I drove it to Beloit. If I called, say on a Monday, they might not be able to take me Tuesday, but they certainly got me in Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. So I drove the machine to my dealer, they fixed it, I'm home back up and running in less than a week. And that to me is a good result. Now, in what happened to me with my major problem with Gaml is what I'm going to tell you what happened to me, and this is not to say that no one ever receives good service from Gaml. I'm sure many people have. If you have a minor problem, many times it can be solved with the 15-minute tech support call. Many times you can find your answer on a YouTube video. What happens is when you have a major problem, you need an expensive Gaml part. You have to get the part from Gaml and have it installed by Gaml. You are 100% at their mercy as to when you will get your machine fixed. These are the things that happened to me in my machine repair journey, starting with the length of time it took them to come out. I made the appointment on the 1st of December. They came a week ago today, the 22nd of January. 7.5 weeks time frame. When I made the appointment, they told me they were running 4 to 6 weeks. This is in contrast to what I just told you about when I had my dealer. I was up and running in a week. I did not find this acceptable. Now, other things that happened through the journey are things that I think were customer service failures. The first is I needed a part. It's called an encoder, and it's specific to the computerized long arms. It runs the machine. And I ordered the part on the 30th of November. And because it was a Thursday, I didn't want to wait for Monday delivery. I paid extra for next day delivery. And the part came on Monday, the 4th. And at first, Gaml said to me, well, you ordered it at 7:30 p.m., so it was really part of Friday's work. Well, I ordered it at 1:30, and when they checked the records, they admitted it, and they did refund my overnight delivery money. But what this clearly shows me is there was no urgency to get me that part. When somebody pays extra for next day delivery, they'd like to get it the next day, and they didn't come through. I think this was a failure in my view. The next thing that happened was I had a tech support meeting scheduled for 12:15 on the 4th of December. I was hoping to have the new encoder before that phone call. It didn't come till a little bit after. But I kept the appointment. I did not cancel the appointment because I wanted to get the old encoder out at least to be ready to put in the new encoder. Gaml just didn't call me. They just, no, you don't have the encoder, so we're not going to call you. Nothing. I think if you make a tech support meeting with a company, they should honor that and call you. Their answer was you didn't have the encoder. You're right, I didn't, but I didn't cancel the meeting. They should have held up their end of the bargain and called me. Lastly is a non-responded to email. In my journey trying to find help, you get really desperate when your machine isn't working. You'll call anybody. I was calling people all over the country to try to find help. And I did call my old dealer, and I talked to her, and she told me to send an email to Jennifer Smith at Gaml. And I did that on the 11th of January. And to date, no response whatsoever. No, I'm checking on your appointment. Nothing. Now, I would say I hope she's okay. I hope nothing has happened to her bad, which would be a reason why she wasn't able to respond to me. But there was no automatic out-of-office response. So I think people should respond to their customers' emails. So all these, to me, would not have happened under the dealership system, which is why I'm promoting going back to that system. The last thing I want to say about the service part is Gaml never called me to have me do anything to the machine, to test anything to the machine, to see what parts they should bring. So I found a company called everythinglongarm.com, and I scheduled an appointment with them. I paid $35, worth every penny, to diagnose my issue. And the woman I spoke to, she had me do different tests on the machine. She had me go into the diagnostics mode and click on different things. I can't repeat them all because I don't remember them all. It's just not something I do every day. But she came up with, it can be part A, part B, or part C. So I went ahead and I emailed Gaml and said, be sure the tech has these 3 things on the truck. And they did, and he had them, and she diagnosed it spot on. So he had everything he needed to repair it. In all fairness, I do not know if he would have had those parts with him or not if I had not told them what parts to bring. they said they didn't need to call me because they had my notes from the emails from the tech department, the phone support from the tech department, and that was enough for them. I will tell you that everythinglongarm.com had me do things that Gaml did not have me do on the phone support meetings or ask me at all in the emails. Let's talk about Gaml's response. When I say Gaml's response, I'm not talking about only Gaml's response directly to me on my problem. There's widespread complaints about Gaml's service all over social media, Facebook. Like I said before, I've called people all over the country trying to get help, and some of the things people say about Gaml are things that I cannot repeat in a YouTube video. So Gaml has responded on social media, and I had a post from one of the people at Gaml. Her name is Michelle Andrews Weaver, and I'm going to read you her response, and you can make your own opinion of what you think about what she said. In my opinion, totally unprofessional, combative, lots of excuses, and no empathy. And I will say from the emails that I got from Gaml, absolutely no empathy. There was never any, I feel your pain, you can't make any money because your machine isn't working. Lots of excuses. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen, and I'm just going to read it. I'm not going to make commentary because it would take way too long to read with my commentary. Starts off with her saying yes, and the yes is in response to the previous post, which was a combination of, is 8 weeks too long to wait for a appointment, or are you happy with 8 weeks being the length of time for an appointment? And there was accusations of people who are posting negative comments on Gaml being liars. So this is the response from Michelle Andrews Weaver. Yes, in 90% of the cases, the poster is either exaggerating, flat out lying, often in a spam account made up by someone who is not even a Gaml customer, or is leaving out very large, important pieces of information, such as they've declined appointments. No, we are not happy with 8 weeks, but 8 weeks is also not the norm. Yes, at the moment, we do have a handful of people who have been waiting that long, but sometimes things are out of anyone's control. The fact that their machines happen to have issues right before the holidays, even Gaml techs deserve time with their families, and that we currently have multiple technicians out with major medical issues at the same time. I'm sure you've experienced it in your life. When it rains, it pours. If only people would schedule their heart attacks and cancer, that would be so much more convenient for the rest of us. We have phone support, Zoom video calls, online documents and videos, chat support, as well as support that you can get in these groups. And yes, we have technicians that will come to you when needed. Also, preventative maintenance goes a long way. Many of the dead in the water situations that people face are caused by lack of routine maintenance and could have been avoided entirely. For example, one poster today who complained about being down for so long has a machine that's 17 to 20 years old and needs a part that should be replaced every 10 years. It's interesting how people expect Gaml to be prepared for every situation and prepared for every contingency, yet have not done the same so that they can take care of their customers. When quilters have long lead times for their services, we all say it must be because they are so busy because they are really good and in high demand, and that it's not their fault that their equipment is down, and it's going to take a while to get a tech. But the moment Gaml's lead times are longer than people would like, the automatic assumption by some is that we are greedy, trying to provide bad service on purpose, or don't care about our customers, all of which cannot be further from the truth. It's a lot to take in. She's called the poster saying they're not getting good service liars. She has said that the problems with our machines are our fault because we're not doing preventative maintenance. And she's talking about things out of her control, people having heart attacks and cancer. Remember, this is an issue Gaml made. If they had the dealership system, they don't have to worry about techs getting cancer or heart attack because the repairs are being done by the dealerships. So they're making a problem of their own and then complaining they have the problem. I'm glad my machine is fixed. I'm glad the tech came out. I still love my machine. I just want the delivery of the service to improve. Let's end this on a high note. While my machine was down, look what I made. Isn't that the cutest heart you've ever seen? It's from the Judy Martin Log Cabin Quilt Book, which I've shown you before. I want to make 2 more and make a banner. I just love it. I love the fabric. I love the design. I've seen many heart-shaped log cabin quilt blocks, but none as cute as this. So if you need a Valentine's project to make, the heart quilt in here wall hanging is a good option. That's the episode today. Until next time, happy sewing.